Hello and welcome, everybody, to day 13 of our 21-day embodiment challenge. Today, we are doing a pretty advanced technique. And so, if you haven't seen or done the previous 12 exercises, definitely go back and make sure that you have a solid foundation in breathing and gratitude and cultivating the ability to touch yourself with genuine loving kindness and self-care. So today I wanted to introduce a special somatic embodiment technique known as tapping. And there are some very well developed and studied techniques for tapping that have come into popular culture in the last 20 years. They are actually related to Chinese medicine, which is thousands of years old. And the way I learned it also was in the shamanic context. So that's what I want to offer to you today. So you might find this if you've done the other kinds of tapping before. This is kind of like a combination between the tapping from Chinese medicine, and it's also related to shamanic practices that I have seen and received where it's a little bit more intense than just tapping, where you're actually using a full flat palm to gently slap yourself. And as always, with loving kindness and compassion, because we have already cultivated that. So the purpose of tapping is to release emotional blockages. Emotions are energy, and that energy is stored in your body, and that's the whole point of the way of embodiment and these somatic therapies, is to skillfully metabolize that energy. We're not trying to get rid of something like it's bad or evil. We're actually working to integrate all of our experiences as valid and worthy parts of who we are into the wholeness of our being. And in this moment in time and in history, as embodied individuals, I can't think of anything more powerful or more important that we need to be doing collectively and individually right now. So thank you so much for joining. I'm really glad that you're here. What we're going to do is we're going to start with warming up our hands by rubbing them together until you can actually generate some heat. Because you don't want to be touching yourself with cold hands. That's no fun. So once you've generated some heat, we're going to start with the face, actually. So allowing that heat to soak into the eyes for just a moment. And then brushing slightly. I think we're going to do brushing tomorrow, but this always feels good. And then using the tips of your fingers, we'll start at the top of the head. And I know there are other techniques that have a different order to things, but just bear with me and have fun. So this is a percussive tap, and I had to move my bun to the side so I could reach the very top of my head. And then we're going to move down to the forehead and the eyebrows, almost like a heavy rain on the roof. That's kind of the same percussive rhythm and pressure that we're applying here. Moving around to the sides of the eyes, down to the base of the occiput, underneath the nose, tapping, above the chin, under the lip, the bottom lip, tapping. And again, with both hands, tapping at the jaw, right at the hinge of the jaw, a famous spot to hold tension. and moving up to the ears. And here we can pinch the ears. And while we're pinching the ears, I want to mention about something else that's used in tapping therapy, which is acknowledging your issues or your pain. So before you start tapping, you can just do a quick check-in with your body. Notice if there are any points of tension. And the important thing there is to just notice what you notice without needing to or wanting or trying to change anything. So actually, here we are working to accept ourselves with love and assure ourselves that we are safe. And also just recognize and create a little mantra if you want, that it's okay to let go. So now I've moved to the back of the base of the skull, and I'm tapping. There's these little bony protuberances just behind the ears at the base of the skull that you can really feel if you tilt your head back and forth. So we're tapping there. Moving down, tapping the throat is just fine as long as you're gentle. Moving to the collarbones and the top of the rib cage. Working from the center out toward the shoulders. And back to the center line. Tapping the heart center. Activating and opening the heart center. So now we'll transition from using the tips of our fingers to our palms, and we'll go under the armpits, tapping the side body, up and down, other side, tapping the side body, up and down, tapping or slapping the arm, starting up at the shoulder, working your way down the top of the arm, turning the arm up, and tapping up toward the shoulder, tapping the other arm from the shoulder down to the wrist and hand, turning the palm up and coming back up to the shoulder. Now a full palmed tapping on the chest, moving down to the belly. Reach around to the back and tap your kidneys. Kidneys actually love to be activated, energized, given some warmth and some kindness. We need to be so kind to our kidneys. And if it feels good, you can also hold your kidneys for just a moment and breathe that warmth and that energy into that area. The last part, if you can't really see it the way the camera is, but you can tap your legs also. So going down one leg and back up, and the other leg and back up. And then coming all the way back up to the top of our head and breathing in, big deep breath. Exhale, say ah. And here just rest and check in. How is your body? How is your breath? And how is your mind? I hope this exercise has helped your body to release tension, to allow you to metabolize stuck emotions, and also provide greater clarity and overall resilience for your life. If you can, make this a daily practice. If it's too much, go back to the beginning of the 21-day embodiment challenge and make sure that you have a really solid foundation in those earlier exercises. Breathing, gratitude, gentle, loving self-touch. It's going to continue to get a little more advanced from here on out, and I'm so grateful that you have chosen to join me for this journey. Thank you so much for being a part of this, and as always, stay kind, stay real, and stay savage. We'll see you soon.